The most dangerous AI output is not always the one that looks wrong. Sometimes it is the one that looks correct enough to trigger the wrong action. That is one of the biggest risks in production AI. A model response may be well written. It may sound confident. It may follow the expected format. It may even look useful. But in production, that is not enough. The real question is not, did the model generate a good answer? The better question is this output valid for this specific action in this specific workflow right now? That is where many AI systems break. Because once AI output starts updating tickets, routing cases, assigning severity, sending responses, triggering alerts, or calling APIs, it is no longer just text on a screen. It has entered execution. And execution cannot rely on confidence alone. Execution needs validation. In an AI demo, the model gives an answer. Everyone looks at the screen. That feels safe. But production is different. In production, the output can move through systems. It can change status. It can trigger escalation. It can update customer records. It can route work to another team. It can notify leadership. It can approve, reject, block, or recommend an action. So the real risk is not only whether the model was wrong. The bigger risk is what the system does next. Take a simple support ticket example. An AI system reviews a customer issue and marks it as high severity. That one label may trigger SLA changes, alerts, escalation paths, dashboards, executive visibility, and engineering responses. Now imagine the label was wrong. The system may escalate the wrong issue, create operational noise, distort reporting, and waste engineering time. This is not just a model quality problem. This is production validation problem. This is the mindset shift teams needs to make. Demo thinking asks, is the answer good? Production thinking asks, what should this output be allowed to influence? That second question is much more important. A model can generate a clean answer and still miss required context. It can produce a confident recommendation and still violate policy. It can summarize a situation correctly and still trigger the wrong workflow. So, for product leaders, the question is not only can the model answer, the real question is what decisions, workflows, systems, or customer experiences should this output be allowed to affect? That is product judgment. This is system design. And that is where AI moves from interesting demo to reliable product. Validation is the checkpoint between model output and system action. Before AI output moves forward, the system should ask, is the required context present? Is the output in the expected format? Does it follow policy? Is the action allowed? Is the risk level acceptable? Does this needs human review? Should this be logged? Can this decision be explained later? These questions sound basic, but in production systems, basic checks prevents expensive failures. A payment system does not process a transaction just because a request exists. It checks authorizations, limits, account status, fraud signals, and failure conditions. A deployment system does not push code just because someone clicks a button. It checks tests, approvals, environment readiness, rollback paths, and release rules. A security system does not grant access just because someone asks. It checks identity, permissions, policy, and risk. AI systems need the same discipline. The model response should not be treated as the final decision. It should be treated as an input into a validated decision flow. One mistake teams make is confusing model evaluation with production validation. They are not the same thing. Model evaluation asks, how well does this model perform overall? Production validations ask, should this specific output be allowed to affect this specific system right now? A model can score well in evaluation and still produce an output that should be blocked in a live workflow. A model can be generally useful and still miss important context in a specific case. A model can produce a correct looking answer and still violate a business rule. That is why production validation cannot stop at model quality. It also needs workflow checks, policy checks, permission checks, risk checks, format checks, audit checks, and business rule checks. In real systems, reliability is not created only by improving the model. Reliability is created by controlling what the model output is allowed to do. The goal is not to slow AI down. The goal is to prevent blind automation. Some AI outputs can move forward automatically. Some needs correction. Some needs human review. Some need escalation. Some need to be blocked. And some only need to be logged. Good validation does not treat every AI response as equally safe or equally dangerous. It looks at the output, the context, the risk, and the action being triggered. Then it decides what should happen next. Because in production AI, the cost of a bad output is not only that the model was wrong, the cost of a bad output is not only that the model was wrong. Did it notify the wrong person? Did it escalate the wrong issue? Did it send the wrong response? Did it call the wrong API? Did it create a decision no one can explain later? That is why validation before action matters. The model can generate, the system must verify. Only then should action move forward. This is the validation before action. In the next part, I'll cover traceability and replay because once AI systems make decisions, teams need a way to understand, reproduce, and explain what happens later.